This is Houston. Are you ready for the event?
Houston from station, I am ready for the event.
ESA PAO, this is Mission Control Houston. Please call station for a voice check.
Station, this is ESA PAO. How do you hear me?
ESA PAO from station, I hear you loud and clear. How about me?
We have you loud and clear. Thanks, Sophie. I will now give the floor to ESA Video Services.
Hi, Sophie. It's good to see you.
All right. Happy to hear you, ESA.
My first question is about food. Has anything surprised you about the way food tastes in orbit? What are the differences you've noticed between eating on Earth and eating in space?
Well, what I can tell is that eating is as joyful in space as it is on Earth. It brings connection among ourselves. It feels good. And also, some people have reported that sometimes people need more salty or more spicy food, but for me, it was not the case at all. For me, the taste feels the same. But what I can tell you for sure, the first time I tasted some of the fresh food that came in the Dragon, for example, one radish, one carrot, one apple, one orange, oh my God, these felt like, wow, sublime, like so good. So I guess it means that we forget a little bit the taste of the very good taste of fresh food. But I'm very much looking forward to have more fresh food when I'm back on Earth.
I can imagine. What was it like sharing Anne-Sophie Pique's dishes with your crewmates?
Oh my God, it was a unique bonding moment, and we all agree in the crew to say that it was the ultimate bonding moment for us. You know, the body needs calories, the physiology needs food to just get energy, but the mind needs connection, needs bonding experiences. And what we all talked about during the dinner is that food is a universal way of creating bonding experiences among crew members. Because whatever your origin, whatever your country, whatever your citizenship, whatever your past, food always brings memories, always bring a sense of connection between each other, sense of connection with the earth, sense of connection with our own childhood, with feel-good meals that we would remember from our grandmas, grandpas, and so this very good gourmet meal was a very, very good bonding moment for us all. And we also agree that Anne-Sophie Pique right now, although she's the most starred chef woman in the world, now we are giving her some stars for being the most starred woman chef in space. So she's the one having most stars in the universe right now.
I love that. Seeing Earth from 400 kilometers above is obviously a perspective that very few of us will get to experience. Has it led to any insights or feelings that has stayed with you?
Yeah, I think every day I open the cupola shutters in the morning and I see the Earth, it feels the same. It feels amazing. The Earth is so beautiful. You understand the power of it? Like it's like a powerful spaceship which holds the whole humanity traveling together in space. So you understand that it's a very powerful ecosystem and full bubble of protection for humanity. But you also understand the fragility of it. You understand that the atmosphere is very thin. You see some lakes that are drying because of drought. You see when there are some floodings and that houses are under the rain or the floodings. You see when there are glaciers melting and ice melting. you see a lot of things from space, and so you understand how much energy we should all put into protecting our shared home, the Earth.
Absolutely. After spending so many months in orbit, what are you most looking forward to experience again when you come back? What's the first thing you're going to do?
Well, that's interesting because in general, I prefer to focus on what I have more than on what I would miss. Right now in space, I have an amazing experience. I really love having this experience and living aboard the space station and doing a very big amount of scientific experiments and sharing this enthusiasm with everyone. This really is very fulfilling for me. But for sure, when I think about memories on Earth, I'll be excited to rediscover everything. And, as I will eat the first fresh salad, as I will give the first hugs to my family and friends, as I will just walk for the first time bare feet on fresh cut grass, when I will just for the first time sleep on a bed with gravity having my head on a pillow, I guess everything will feel so valuable because it will feel like a first time. And then I think I will have this insight that, wow, maybe it's good to be conscious about what we have and have a ton of gratitude about what we have, and just minor things can give us a rainbow of positive emotions, and I'm looking forward to all of this.
Sounds good. So many young people are following your mission and your journey. What quality or mindset do you think matters most for someone who dreams of becoming an astronaut one day?
That's kind of a difficult question because we, in the Astronauts Corps, we want a lot of variety because the more diverse the people are and the more strong we'll be as a team. You want people who have different backgrounds and different mindsets so that we are all complementary. I would say one common feature is that we like working in teams. We like working and creating bonding moments together, and because Spaceflight is really about teamwork. It's teamwork not only within the crew in here, but also with the ground support teams and the ground crews. I call them ground crews because literally it feels like we are all crews in this big adventure. And yeah, it's we also acknowledge that we are all human and we can all make mistakes, but we give the others grace for them, and as a team we are stronger. So yeah, I think being a lot into kind to each other and understanding the dynamics of teamwork is very important in this job.
Thanks a lot, Sophie. We will now transition to French. Je donne la parole à Bruno Catron pour les éditions Playback. À vous.
Oui, bonjour Sophie, donc je suis Bruno.
Hi Sophie, I'm Bruno from Mon Quotidien, which is a small daily newspaper for children. And a few questions. What surprised you most since you've been aboard the ISS?
Bonjour Bruno, bonjour à toute la communauté de
Hi
Playback.
Bruno, hi the Playback community, and hi to all the kids who are spending a bit of time with me, who are going to have my witness account. What surprised me is pretty much everything. Really, seriously, it's difficult to pick out something because you understand immediately, get into space, but when you're in the rocket and leaving terrestrial gravity up in the air, and then after that you get into orbit, the first time you're in weightlessness, you're confronted with all of this, and then finally moving off at such a high speed, and then getting to the ISS, which is a huge floating laboratory in orbit. It's very difficult for a human brain to grasp. And there are some things that I'd like to tell you about, though, because these are stories that I'm going to keep for the rest of my life as memories. The fact that you're floating in weightlessness and then having to move around in this third dimension is really great. And the fact that you have to understand, even if you're surprised by the impression that you're kind of a muddle, a total muddle, the logisticians know exactly what each part and each object is there for. And when you're looking for a 3 millimeter long screw or something, and you have to have the right thickness and so on, they know exactly where it is, the technician. And that's also surprising. What also surprised me is the beauty of the Earth and the universe and so on. So it's a tremendous experience. Yes, and what has amazed you most, to follow up on that, apart from the beauty of Earth?
Je crois que ce qui m'a le plus émerveillé, c'est
true. I think what amazed me most was the beauty of the Earth. Every morning, systematically, when you open up the cupolas, flaps there, the shutters, I'm astonished every time. And it's this freshness of the wow impression. And it's resourceful. It's like when you see a beautiful landscape and you're at the top of a mountain, or when you see the infinity of the sea, the ocean, you're inspired, or a sunset, and you're inspired and you say, wow, it's beautiful. And everyone, unanimously, you can all share this wow feeling. And that's the feeling you get when you see the Earth from high up there, and you understand that the Earth is beautiful. It's powerful because it's a whole set of ecosystems that allows humanity to live, to survive, and to have wonderful lives. But it's also a very fragile system because you understand that the atmosphere is very small. You understand that you can see the effects of deforestation. You can see the effects of drought, of volcanoes. That erupt, and you can see a lot of different things, and you feel all the more connected. And you're connected with humanity as inhabitants of this space vessel, traveling into the universe, as it were. How do you sleep in space? Do you dream differently? Do you sleep well? Do you sleep differently than when you're on Earth?
Écoutez, on dort très très bien. Enfin, en tout cas, moi,
we sleep really well. Well, I have no worry with that. I have no worry about sleeping.
On fait des rêves comme sur Terre, j'allais dire.
You dream just like on Earth, but I try and think about what I'm doing up here, and I realize that all of the dreams I've had so far, it's to do with the terrestrial Earth's gravity. The scene was actually taking place on Earth. I don't see objects floating around me all the time in my dreams. So maybe I'll think about it more when I get back down on Earth.
Comment s'organise une journée un peu type pour un astronaute?
Organize a typical day. How does it work for an astronaut working on the ISS?
Alors une journée type, il faut savoir qu'elle est très dense.
A typical day is very dense. We've got a lot to do during the day. It's a pretty high, strong rhythm. We start with the briefing in the morning with all of the control centers in Houston, Munich, Moscow, in Japan and Moscow. And we do a briefing on the day and the activities for the day to come. And then we have all our activities that take place one after the other. And this is all timed to within 5 minutes each time. This is all scheduled to within 5 minutes. And each of us, one astronaut will contact the Japanese center, another will contact Hampshire, the scientific experiments, another one Munich, and so on. And each of us has what we call a timeline. In other words, a sequence of activities to respect. And in every day we have maintenance, we have scientific experiments, and we also have sport, about 2.5 hours of sport, 30 minutes of cardiac exercise, and an hour and a half of muscular strengthening, because we lose a lot of strength in our muscles up here, and a lot of density of the bone structure as well. And then we have a slot for lunch, which we take together, and then we all meet up in the evening at 6:30, where we have the debriefing of the day's activities with the control centers around the world. And then, once once the debriefing is over, we dine together, and the day comes to an end like that, really. You don't see time go past, really. What did you think when there was the alert and the crew had to go into the Dragon capsule? What were you thinking about when that happened?
Mais écoutez, à ce moment-là, on était surtout très concentrés. J'ai trouvé que la manière dont ça a été géré, ça a été avec un calme très professionnel et c'était très agréable de dérouler la procédure. En fait, on a entendu sur la radio Houston qui nous appelait en disant nous, la station ici, Houston, on vous demande d'appliquer la procédure 3.4 de aller se mettre à l'abri pour aller se mettre à l'abri dans le Crew Dragon. Donc c'est une procédure qu'on connaît, on avait répété maintes fois au sol, donc on la connaît vraiment sur le bout des doigts.
We are familiar with. We practiced it on Earth, so it went very well. Each astronaut has their own procedure, and then the ground center, they all know what they have to do. We all knew what we had to do. So we were trained before, and the whole team, the whole crew was trained. So it went well, and you don't think about anything other than just remaining focused to follow the procedure. So in the end, once everything was over, I don't know how long that took exactly, but the emergency period came to an end, and Houston decided it was time to go back into the station. There, I started to think about it all, and I thought, whoa, it wasn't too bad because I want to stay longer on the station. I want to stay up here, but time goes past so swiftly. You have so much to do compared with when you're on Earth. I have a question from a reader that I'm often asked. Can you get in contact with your family easily enough?
Oui, alors on a de la chance d'être en 2026.
Yes, well, we're lucky because in 2026 we have connections which are worthy of the present generation. So it's pretty easy to get in touch with our families. But it's rather like when you're on Earth, you have a telephone which is built into our computers, each of us, in your sleeping cabin. And you can phone family when there are moments for connection. In other words, when we're moving over the right part of the in relation to the satellites and so on that provide a relay to communication. So most of the time, we're not limited, except if there are short breaks of 15 minutes of communication because there are regular cut-offs. But this is one of the ways we go about it. We can also have video calls with our families. But finally, these video calls, the audio calls, and so on, it's exactly like on Earth. It really works well. What about the biology experiment that you were conducting with students in France in parallel? Have you communicated with them? How's it going?
Écoutez, cette expérience, c'était vraiment un grand bonheur de la faire.
This experiment was great fun doing it, and I've had exchanges with them, and it made me really happy. I was really glad to discuss things with them. And they saw me on the screen, like you're seeing me now on screen, but I didn't see them. And I felt in their voices when they were asking me these questions. We turned on we saw that they had stars in their eyes, that they're asking the questions all the same. So it's great to talk with these young people and to see the curiosity that we were arousing in them, livening them up, making them aware of exploration, thinking about exploration and testing the various things. This is what I want to hand on to the younger generation. Precisely. Thank you very much, Sophie. That was the last question. And this brings our event to an end. It wraps it up. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Eh bien, écoute, merci. Et puis, merci à toutes les équipes de
Playback,
thank you
to the whole Playback team for having
Je pense que cette jeunesse d'aujourd'hui, on peut lui faire confiance. Elle va
carried over all of these messages. I think we can have confidence. We have faith in this younger generation for tomorrow's world. And we have to give them the right tools to cope with that. Thank you for the journalists. Thank you for those taking part. And we can get the message across to actually stimulate the curiosity of this younger generation for the future.
Yeah, sending you a ton of good vibes from space.
Station, this is Houston ACR. That concludes the event. Thank you.
Thank you. you to all participants.
Thank you.
Station, we are now resuming operational audio communications.